We're breathing. Our muscles are just kind of relaxing, open to the ground. So we take a moment to connect with our intention for the day. The intention that I was thinking about today is the idea of, we have that quote of pain in the neck. So what do you do for a pain in the neck? And this can be physical. We do get actual pains in the neck. Usually we're speaking metaphorically. So first, physically, what can we do for a pain in the neck? Well, we can help to warm up the muscles all around, and then we can help to stretch them. So physically, that's what we're going to be doing in our body. Now, taking that metaphorically, for the pain in our neck, that person or that thing that's just rubbing us wrong, a lot of times that pain comes from the idea of duality, black and white, good or bad. I'm right, you're wrong, and there's not really an in-between, and that's what rubs us so bad. And so think of today, we're trying to stretch through our perception, trying to get out of that complete duality toward more of a gray area, where if we were to step into their shoes, maybe we could understand their perspective and what they're doing and why a little bit better. And maybe we could have, a little bit greater compassion if we understood their story. And so metaphorically, that's what we're working on, is stretching through that perception. And physically, we're strengthening, warming up, and then ultimately we'll get that nice stretch, not just for the neck, but for all the surrounding areas, especially shoulders, the arm strength, all that good stuff. And so as we're ready to get started, let's begin taking the knees inward. And just a couple of breaths here, rocking around on the hips and low back, just noticing, tuning into how things are feeling right now. Good. At some point, legs start to extend all the way up to the sky. This is muscular strength, so use it, take it as straight as they can easily, and then float the arms up toward the sky. What we're going to be doing is pulsing the fingertips up to try to touch the toes, and then relaxing the shoulder blades back to the ground. So just follow the speed of your breath. Doesn't have to be too much. Up and down, and even if you can't touch, that's okay. Feel the shoulder blades spreading away as you start to reach up. And then anytime you come back down, feel the shoulder blades kind of resting back together. So back and forth a few more cycles. You can always take breaks. Remember, that's always allowed in this class. If we're still doing good, let's take another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bending the knees, let the left foot go to the ground. Right thigh wraps over that left thigh. And then wind the right elbow under the left elbow. So in winding it all together, we're trying to get the shoulders into their first stretch today. So push the shoulders away from the ears and then begin to lift the fingertips to try to touch maybe the ground right above the head. It's okay if it doesn't actually get there. What we're trying to feel is the shoulder area expanding and spreading to a beautiful stretch. Good. Opening the arms to a figure T on the ground, the knees fall over to a twist to the left. And when hips go back down on the earth, unwind the legs. Legs are up to the sky again. We're going to do 10 more pulses if you can reach that many. So pulsing fingers to reach, shoulders expand and relax. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Open the legs out wide. Hands come to the inner thighs. Give it a couple of breaths, just stretching through the legs in that direction. And then bending the right knee, right foot is on the ground, left thigh wraps over. With our elbows, left elbow is under. And same thing, elbows push down, or sorry, shoulders push down. Fingertips start to rise, maybe touching the ground above the head. What we're aiming for though is the shoulder stretch more than anything else. Unwind the arms, they're open, figure T on the ground, knees fall over to the right. Okay, hips back down, the legs open, and bring them back to that, immediately to that figure V shape in the sky. Hands can rest, stretching for a couple of breaths. Knees can always be bent if it's getting to be too much work. Now hold the legs muscularly here. Reach the arms up overhead. Continuing to warm up the shoulders. We take an inhale here. Exhale, lift the hands, reach through the legs, and return. Maybe going for 10 total, so this is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Bend the knees, the feet about as wide as the mat. Do just a few nice windshield wipers, loosening up those muscles that were holding us in place. Good. Legs extend out long on the ground. Now there's not that much you can do at the shoulders while we're laying on our backs, so we won't be on our back nearly as long today. We're gonna go ahead and rise up now. So the way we're coming out is a roll up. Try to roll up as slowly as possible. It's okay if you need some momentum. It's okay if you need to grab the thighs, but just to whatever extent you have, try to go as slowly as possible. So arms reach up overhead, inhale. And exhale lets us start to rise. Good, eventually up to step, and then continue reaching toward toes. Allow yourself to lengthen from the low back, and then relax just a little bit deeper than before. And rising back up, keep some strength in the legs. We're bringing the arms out in front of us. Continuing to warm up the shoulders, we pulse halfway back, that point where we have control, and then back up to staff. The next exhale, arms rise up overhead. Inhale to return. So it's 2 full breaths. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And we'll complete this a few more times. You'll start to feel after another round or two the shoulders warming up nicely. Go another 3, 2, and 1. Good. Slide the feet into cobbler's pose. And as we round forward, just kind of let the shoulders relax. It's nice to get some extra blood flow to them immediately after use. So just let the head rest, maybe even rocking the head around a little bit, left and right. When spine comes back up, plant the feet. We're gonna aim for 10 tricep dips. Not everybody can do all of them, so it's okay if you just do what you can do. But we're planting our hands behind us, planting the feet in front. We lift the hips up, and then bend the elbows, and then press the elbows straight. So if you're doing this okay, let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. So just a simple cross-legged seated position. And then let's stretch that tricep for a moment. So right hand at the base of the neck, left hand grabs the right elbow and pulls it to the midline. So we're stretching through the tricep. That's what we should be feeling. If the head hunch, push the head back, and that'll give us even more. Good. Releasing this right arm. The right hand comes in front of us. Let's do 3 arches. So it lifts up, and then it traces all the way as far back as that shoulder can handle. And return. 2. And 1. Good. Left hand to base of neck. Grab the elbow, pull it midline. And releasing 3 cycles. Thank you so much for helping. I didn't even hear it.
That means Bobby.
Oh, shoot, that would have been a big deal. Okay, 2. And 1. Okay, so we're feeling those shoulders pretty warmed up. Let's come onto hands and knees. We'll do almost like a cat-cow position, but really it's squeezing the shoulder blades together behind us and then rounding the shoulder blades apart. So do a couple of those positions. Building even more mobility in all those joints, all those fluid little muscles. And if you'd like to continue to exaggerate this, when your shoulder blades are apart, you can round the spine up. And then when you squeeze your shoulder blades together, you can drop the belly down. So just making sure either way to include those shoulder blade muscles. Good. Spine can come back to neutral. This next one can be done either on hands or on elbows. So it's going to be your preference depending on how your wrists are. Essentially, the idea is we're up to downward facing dog, and then we rock our way forward to plank. So if you're on your elbows, it's up and then forward, just the same. Okay? So I'm going to count 10. Again, you don't have to do all 10. It's up to what your body is capable of. So when you're ready, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Let's rock forward, lower chaturanga. With that gentle arm strength. I know chaturangas are hard. And just a moment with a little back bend. Especially feel the core, the abdominal muscles stretching. Good, and then let's rest for a moment. Child's pose. Give those shoulders a break. From here, you have an option, either sit on your heels if that's comfortable for you, or come up to a higher kneeling position. Either way, we're opening our elbows out like football goalpost, so their elbows are nice and wide. What we're going to do is press the forearms together as the spine rounds back, and then pull the elbows back behind us as the heart arches through. So you'll start to feel not only work going on, but also a stretch. When we touch the forearms together, you should feel a slight stretch on the back side of the shoulders. And then when you bring the heart through, it's the front half of the shoulders that are stretching. So a couple more of these. It's funny because it doesn't seem like you should feel it so much, but after back-to-back things for our shoulders, we can start to feel this one really nicely. Let's take another 3, 2, and 1. Good. Again, either stay high or low. Just bring the right arm across our body. Left arm hugs it in to a little stretch. That'll feel nice after that warming up. Sometimes I'll even tilt the head to the left to help it out. Good. Open. And second side, hug it in. Good. Coming out. Let's take just a moment with downward facing dog. So the legs have this brief chance to stretch. We're not focusing on legs so much today, so it's nice to get that little bit of mobility. And then what we'll be doing is lift the right leg up to the sky, step the right foot to outside of right hand. It's like a lizard pose, trying to keep the back knee lifted, and we're going to bend the elbows, lowering halfway down like a chaturanga. The only difference is this right foot will actually help us. It takes some of the weight off so that we can hold here a little bit longer. I'm going to count to 10. Here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Drop the back knee down and let's take a full lizard. So we can maybe lower to one elbow, maybe to the other elbow if it feels nice. So whatever spot feels okay for your body. So we'll transition to a side plank variation from here. You can either stay on the left elbow and the left knee and just lift the right arm up, or you can make it harder. Coming up to the hand would be one way to make it harder. Rocking onto the outside edge of that back foot would make it harder. This is a nice variation because this front leg again helps to assist us. The shoulders are still warming. So here we're gonna hold good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Gently unwind yourself. Maybe you shake the shoulders if they're tired at all. And then it's the downward facing dog to get to that second side. So lift up high. Left leg floats for a moment. Step it to outside of left hand. Keeping the back knee lifted at first. This is that variation of the chaturanga. So elbows bend, we're lowering partway down. Trying to just hold there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Lizard, drop the back knee. Maybe go to elbows if that feels nice. Good, and the modified side plank. Maybe stay down, maybe come up to the right hand, the outside of the right foot, lifting the left hand. Stay down. There you go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Lower down. Maybe take an actual chaturanga just to feel it. Squeeze down. Good. A little back bend. And child, just a couple of breaths. Good. Heading toward dolphin pose. We're going to repeat this a couple of times, dolphin. So dolphin, we're down on elbows. Make sure elbows aren't too wide. So you should be able to wrap your fingers around the outside of the arms. If they're in that good placement, one hand takes a fist, the other hand hugs around the fist. And then from here, we tuck the toes and lift the hips up high. Walking the toes in as much as we have the flexibility for. This one's really good for strengthening those shoulders. And so what we're gonna do is hold about as long as we have this easeful control, meaning we're still breathing pretty easily. Drop it down to child whenever you feel like you've reached that point of kind of exhaustion. Good. If you're not done already, take your last good breath in and out. And then just rest. Let your heart rate slow down. Good, slow, deep breaths. We'll work our way up towards standing. So if you'd like to go through the down dog, go ahead and straighten the legs for a moment. You can pause as long as that feels good until you're ready for the forward fold up at the top. And give your legs some time when you get there, no rush. Good, we'll take one more inhale, exhale, inhale to rise. Let's even rotate through those arms, circling up. Good, hands to the heart. And then drop the arms by our sides like a mountain pose. Just easing into that shoulder for a moment. Drop the left ear over the left shoulder and the right hand pulls backwards. Good, ease the head back up. And then right ear over right shoulder, left hand pulls backwards. Beautiful, head up. Let's take a moment to balance in tree pose. Our right foot comes up to ankle, calf or thigh. If the balance is there, the arms will reach up and even try to bring the arms to squeeze close to our ears. You'll feel that activation actually isn't the easiest thing, at least for me. I've got a lot of, tightness and weakness in the shoulders, and so that squeezing is getting kind of tiring. So we're just holding there, another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now leave the arms, float this right knee in front of us. And then keep the arms right by the ears as we begin to kick back. This is a warrior 3, but don't feel like you have to tilt significantly. So it's whatever angle will let you keep those arms right by the ears. Good, and then eventually land back into warrior 1. So with our warrior 1, keep the arms right by the ears just another moment longer. Our heater just came on, so I'm gonna go bump it off. It's like we're getting right to that hot point, so like we don't need any extra heat right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So our idea in this warrior 1 is that we're letting the legs tone themselves just by holding us in this shape. So try to go about as low as you're comfortable with. And then open the arms to the left and right, create like thumbs up signs. And we're gonna pump the thumbs first up and then down. So first pumping up and down, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thumbs down and then pump that way. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take the left arm across the body, pull it into a moment with a shoulder stretch. The legs are still sinking as low as they can, just toning themselves by the shape. Good. Open the arms, right arm across. Good, open back up, float the arms upward, upper arm right by the ear, inhale. Exhale, rotate open warrior 2. From our warrior 2, this will be the same shape with our thumbs, so that same thumbs up thing, but we're pulsing the thumbs first toward the space in front of our heart, and then second toward our back space. So get the legs in that good best toned shape, and then thumbs forward, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thumbs back, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One of the arms you choose. It comes right across the body. Pull it in, maybe even the head tilts. Good, open out. The second arm. Good, open out. Let's turn our toes to this long edge, clasp the hands behind, and let's start to ease our shoulders into a stretch as we bow forward. So you choose how far back those hands are pulling. Eventually dropping the arms downward, you'll feel that rush of blood back into the arms. That feels so nice, so healing. So now when we walk our hands toward the top of the mat, we step the front foot back, and we're going in toward another dolphin. So lower down to the elbows. One hand makes a fist, the other hand hugs around it. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, walk your toes in. You can either do the variation 1 that we've already done, just hold here, or you can do variation 2, lift one of your legs up, and then lower it down. Second leg up and down. Yeah, don't feel like you have to. It makes it a lot harder to start adding in the legs. So it'll be the same thing as before. Do this about as long as you still feel like you have good breath control. The moment it starts to get crazy, you're exhausted, just drop to child. Okay, we'll start to transition back up for that second side. So tuck the toes, lift the hips. Stay as long in the down dog as you like until you're ready to start coming forward. Eventually, when you're up at the top, take that nice forward fold. Maybe another good breath or two. And rise. Good, let's do the same thing. Arms drop down by our sides. The right ear goes over the right shoulder. The left hand pulls backwards. Release. Left ear down, right hand back. And release. This one will be tree pose with flex. Left foot to ankle, calf, maybe thigh. And if the balance isn't there, you don't have to do this, but if it is, try to bring the arms directly up so that the upper arms are kind of trying to squeeze inward right by our ears, making two parallel lines. One more inhale. Exhale, keep the arms, float this left knee in front of us. And then kick back through whatever angle the warrior three allows us to have the arms stay there. And then eventually step back, warrior one. So the upper arm's still squeezing. Make sure your warrior one is set to a good toning shape. And then start to swing the arms open to left and right. Make your thumbs up. We'll pump up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thumbs down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Choose an arm, bring it across your chest, pull it in. Legs are still toning. Good, open it out, second side. And release. Float the arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Warrior two. Make the fist with the thumb sticking out. This will be forward to the space in front of our heart. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotate the thumbs back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Choose an arm, pull it into a stretch. Keep the legs toning. Maybe you can sink a little bit deeper for the last couple of breaths or in that shape. Open it out, second arm. Good, open. Turn the toes to this long edge. Let's try to clasp hands behind our back again and pull it forward. Good, starting to relax down, feel that rush of blood into the arms. This time bend the knees, hands to hips, roll the spine up. We'll heel toe our feet together and then come up toward the top. I'd like us to do a nice little eagle's pose just to continue to stretch the shoulders. I love how that helps to compress things there. So right elbow under left elbow. And just pause in the shoulder part of this for a moment. So shoulders pressing down while the elbows are trying to lift up. You're welcome to just stay here or start to sit the hips back. Remember, knees don't go forward of the toes. Instead, the hips go back. Try to go about as low as you have the strength for. And then maybe right thigh wraps over. Still feel that shoulder stretch. Maybe 3 times trying to touch elbows to thighs and rise. 2 and 1. Good. When we unwind, let the arms turn into noodles, just loosening them up left and right. Okay, one more side. So we've got the left elbow under the right elbow. Try to push shoulders down as you're lifting elbows up. Maybe start to sit back. Maybe left thigh over. Maybe 3 touches. 3, 2, 1. Good, release. Noodle out the arms again. Good. And then as we're heading back, this last time we still have just a hair more strengthening. So we're gonna rotate the arms up like a big circle. Just feel those shoulders in their socket. Feel how strong they are now. And then dive down, even letting the head curl down, all the way down to that length in the back side of the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands slide all the way. As we step back to plank or kneeling plank, we're gonna be taking a side plank. So if you can do the full thing, heels rotate to the left, right arm lifts up. If you need that right foot to step in front of you, that'll be getting into that easier variation. Yeah, so right foot just steps in front. Good. Got it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that right hand down. Rotate heels over to the other side, to the heels to the right, left hand up. Maybe that left foot in front of us. And here is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand down, lower to knees for a moment. This is gonna be our last one. This is that last dolphin pose. So back down to elbows. When we're on elbows, this one you have 3 variations you could choose. So number 1, just stay still in that dolphin pose. Number 2, lift one leg up and down. Number 3 would be kicking a leg up with momentum so the other leg briefly rises. So choose your variation and go with it until that breath is about done.
Whitney, can I ask a quick question?
What's that?
Is your head supposed to touch at all?
No, head does not touch in dolphin. It's the strength of the shoulders that kind of keeps on pressing away.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good, so take a few more rounds if you're still going. And then eventually child. This is a great opportunity to just start slowing down the breath. We're heading toward these last few minutes of just straight neck and shoulder stretches, which will be delicious after all this work we've done. But we start here, just slow down the breath. Slow inhales. Slow exhales. We'll do a rabbit pose. So swing the arms through the sides until each hand is on each heel. And then rest the forehead down in front of you like a child's pose. And from here, all you have to do is lift the hips up. That will start to pull the shoulder blades apart so that you get a really good stretch. And this does kind of rock onto the crown of the head. Maybe 2 more breaths. And then as you relax out of that, bring the arms forward, either plank or kneeling plank. We'll take that chaturanga to slowly lower belly down to the earth. And once we're down, let's take the right arm straight out to the right. The right cheek is on the floor. And then we press into the left hand until we've lifted our body into that right shoulder stretch. So sometimes I'm stacking the hips. Sometimes the top leg can plant behind me. Sometimes this left hand can even come to my low back. Let's begin to ease back toward our belly. Good, and then we'll switch it out. So now left arm is straight off to the left. Left cheek is on the floor. Press into the right hand until you've got that left shoulder stretched, maybe hip stacked, maybe top leg rotating behind you, maybe even that right hand at your low back. And easing out of it. Once we're on our belly again, take the elbows underneath our shoulders, Sphinx pose. Pull the heart forward and through so that the abdominals get a chance to stretch. Then swivel the left hand in, and then the right hand also comes in, so right hand is in front, both arms parallel to the front, and then begin to walk each hand off the mat. So left hand goes to the right hand goes to the left. You're going as far as you can. You should be feeling the shoulder blades pulling away into a stretch. If you don't really feel that, usually I can get into it if I bump the elbows forward another inch. And then I like to rest my head down, so I usually will tuck my chin and then rest that down so that it gives my throat space to breathe. Good, start to walk the elbows back in. And then switch out the arms, so now it's left that's in front. And then when you get there, both hands walk back off to each side. If you need to bump the elbows forward, that's okay. Tuck the chin, and then rest it down. One last inhale. Exhale, walk back in. When we freed out the arms, press back into child's pose. Feel those arms stretch forward for a moment. Begin to walk the hands off the left side of the mat. That'll ease the shoulders to a whole new direction. And return forward. Walk the hands off the other side. Good. Arms go forward, 2 more breaths. As we start to rise up, let's take a comfortable seated place. Legs out in front of us. Behind your back, clasp your hands together again, and then shift the hands to the right hip. And then drop the right ear to the right shoulder. That'll pull that left shoulder into a really good stretch. Okay, head eases its way up, and then both hands over to the left hip, and then left ear drops down. Good. When the head comes back up, we'll have the hands either resting on the knees or open to each side. And from here, the chin will start to rise. We're trying to stretch the thyroid in the front of us. So usually what I'll do once I lift is also jut the jaw forward. And that will pull that area into a good opening. Good. Relax the jaw, head rises. And then drop the chin all the way down to the chest. If the neck doesn't have any issues, we can clasp hands and then rest hands on the back of the head. We're not pulling on the head, but we're letting the arm muscles just be loose so that we're weighing the head down. When the hands begin to release, this is that point where we can head into any last stretches our body might want prior to Shavasana. So take your time, anything at all that you'd like to move into, that's absolutely fine. Helping other areas of our body make sure that they feel good so that we can relax totally and completely. There's zero rush to get into Shavasana today, but when you feel like your body's happy, it's willing to rest, during your Shavasana today, imagine with your inhales, you're inviting in really good energy, especially to help warm and heal and strengthen these neck, shoulder, and arm areas of our body. Just imagine it like maybe light or health or vitality coming right into all the cells of the body that are in that area. Here we'll begin to deepen our inhales and our exhales. Introduce little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like you're waking up first thing in the morning. Eventually taking a nice fetal position off to one side. Enjoy another 2 or 3 good deep breaths until you feel ready to rise. So as we join hands together in front of our hearts, let's tune back into that idea that we were discussing, that pain in the neck, metaphorically or physically. If it's physical, we notice how we are able to strengthen and then stretch really nicely into all these areas. And metaphorically, we can do the same thing. Strengthen relationship with the person, strengthen our ability to speak up for ourselves, and then stretch ourselves by viewing the world as they may view it, taking ourselves out of duality, out of separateness, for this greater state of unity, realizing it is possible for us to be more unified with humanity. And so with this idea of helping us work through our pains in the neck, let's allow ourselves to wrap up the time we got to share together today with a sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.